Good afternoon. It's 3:30 on Tuesday, April 7th. This is Observer Radio News, live from our East York studios at Centennial College. Outside, it's overcast and -2 degrees and snowing. I'm Jenna Conter here with Steve Darley and Will Senn. Here's what's making the news this hour. Crown seeks adult jail time for convicted Kriba murderer. Death toll from Italy earthquake still on the rise. UN Security Council denounces North Korea for long-range rocket launch. Now to our top story. The convicted shooter in the Jane Kriba murder trial is being sentenced. JSR was a minor the night he killed Jane Kriba in one of the most notorious Toronto murders. The Crown is seeking adult jail time for the second-degree murderer. JSR's defense team continues to maintain that JSR did not shoot a gun that night. A 15-year-old Kriba was murdered along with 6 others were wounded during the shooting on Yonge Street over 3 years ago. The defense acknowledges that JSR has a history of violence, but claims he has shown vast improvements during his stay in jail. It's not easy for a boy to wear pink. That's why dozens of students and teachers put on pink T-shirts at their Toronto high school. Their action was part of the school's first Pink Day event. Mary Para has this report.
I have a friend here who gets picked on sometimes in my baking class for it, and it's not a really good feeling.
Grade 12 Danforth Collegiate student Ashley Kellestein talks about a friend who gets bullied for being gay. Kellestein helped plan her school's first Pink Day event. Pink Day is an international day against bullying. It's a day to stand up against all forms of discrimination. Teacher Margot Hike runs an anti-homophobia group at the school called SAS. She says speaking about all forms of discrimination is a way to reach out to more students.
The ESL students recently have said they'd like to join SAS because with Pink Day, they said, what is that? And I went into the ESL classroom, they wanted to know. And they're so into human rights because they, of course, their families have left countries where their human rights may not have been so great.
Grade 10 student Aditi Fauzia is one of the ESL students who helped with Pink Day. Aditi has seen boys get bullied for wearing pink.
I don't know, it's not that much hurt to wear pink for a guy. It's just pink, that's it. It's a color like black or white.
Pink Day comes from an impromptu action at a Nova Scotia high school 2 years ago. Dozens of students wore pink T-shirts after a grade 9 boy got bullied for wearing the color. Mary Para, Observer Radio, Toronto.
The death toll from yesterday's earthquake in central Italy continues to rise. The earthquake hit around 3:30 a.m. in L'Aquila, just north of Rome. The quake that registered a 6.3 on the Richter scale has killed more than 200 people, while 1,500 were injured. 50,000 people seek refuge in shelters as efforts to continue to uncover possible survivors. This is the deadliest earthquake to strike Italy in nearly 30 years. The U.S. Department of State says the launch of a long-range rocket in North Korea this past weekend is not something to celebrate. The department says this launch has further isolated North Korea and has violated UN Security Council resolutions. The council met Sunday evening but wasn't able to generate an immediate response to what is being referred to as a serious development. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said that the U.S. is not alone in denouncing North Korea for this rocket launch. North Korea is now at risk of losing future gains from six-party talks. Talks have now turned to persuading North Korea to abandon their nuclear program. And that's the latest news. Now here's Steve Darley with the sports. Steve?
Thanks, Jenna. The sight, sounds and smell of spring are in the sporting air. The first week of April means opening week in Major League Baseball. The Blue Jays will be looking to build on their opening night win last night. David Percy is the starting pitcher tonight, and he'll be hoping that the bats stay hot as the Jays take on the Detroit Tigers in the second of a 4-game series. Game time is 7 o'clock. Still with baseball, and tonight's game at the Rogers Centre will be a dry affair. Ontario's Alcohol and Gaming Commission temporarily suspended the stadium's liquor licence because of infractions last year. Tonight is the first of 3 one-day suspensions and comes on the back of some rowdy fan behaviour last night. Attendance is forecasted to be low, and the alcohol ban could keep walk-up fans away. The NHL has a packed schedule tonight, 13 games, including the Leafs, who play the Devils in New Jersey. Tonight's matchup is the last Leafs road game of the year, with Buffalo and Ottawa visiting the ACC to round out the season. The Raptors put their pride on the line and not much else tonight as they face the playoff-bound Atlanta Hawks. With 3 games left on a difficult season, the Raptors will look to bounce back from a home defeat to the New York Knicks. Swimsuit season is just around the corner, forcing the masses to sweat it out to get beach body ready. Running on a treadmill like a hamster just doesn't cut it for most people these days. A more stimulating way to trim down can be found at Steele's West Gym, and there isn't a dumbbell or stair climber in sight. Jenna Conter has this story.
A good workout at Steeles West Gym begins with a warm-up on the trampoline. 4 years ago, this center for gymnastics started hosting evening drop-in sessions. Steeles West Gym is open to beginners interested in a good workout and also has the equipment for gymnasts to improve their skills. Alan Kang rents the space from the owner.
Unlike other open gyms, I run like a little warm-up and group kind of stretching, tumbling warm-up first, so just to make sure everyone has something to work on and they got their basics down. And I get the range of people. I get dancers, I get fight students, computer programmers, everyday Joes who just want to learn something new and different with their body.
The group warm-up lasts about 2 hours. The gym is then open for a variety of training opportunities. For clients like Alana Zatzman, there couldn't be a better way to keep her body in tip-top shape for her job as a stunt performer.
I am a stunt performer and a web graphics designer, and I go here for extra training. It's just good to have extra skills in other areas, and I'm not really skilled in this area, so learning something new is always fun.
Variety is the spice of life, and the people at Steeles West Gym take full advantage of these drop-in sessions. Adults over the age of 18 are welcome to check it out every Monday and Friday evening. Jenna Conter, Observer Radio News, Toronto.
In Moncton, Canada's Kevin Martin is still undefeated at the World Curling Championships. Martin's team won easily this morning against Switzerland to post a perfect 6-0 record so far. Tonight they face a tricky test against Norway, the only other unbeaten team. In the golf world, all eyes are on Augusta, Georgia this week and the first major championship of the year. The 2009 Masters sees the return of a certain Tiger Woods to major play. Woods has quickly returned to form since his return from an 8-month injury layoff. Woods, who won the Arnold Palmer Invitational 2 weeks ago, is the bookies' favourite to add another green jacket to his collection. Champions League soccer play resumes in Europe today with 2 more quarter-final games in progress and 2 more slated for tomorrow. Arsenal travel to Spanish club Villarreal, looking to secure a tricky road win. Meanwhile, Manchester United are at home at Old Trafford today. The visitors are FC Porto, a tough team out of the Portuguese league. United are the reigning champions and are looking to add another trophy to the cabinet this year. Latest half-time scores have United and Porto tied at 1 and Arsenal down 1-0. That's you up to date with sports. Stay with us after the break for all the entertainment news with Will Senn.
Dr. John from Popeyes.
I was raised on Cajun chicken, the New Orleans cuisine. And the folks at Popeyes Chicken, well, you know just what I mean. Help me, girls.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
You'll dig the way it's fried.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
It feels so good inside. That New Orleans spice is oh so nice. A scandalicious taste bud sin. So crunchy and spicy and juicy and loosey. Grab a piece and bite right in. Hey!
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
The best you've ever tried.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Your taste buds will be tantalized. And once you savor that eye-poppin' flavor, you'll say, this is some serious chicken.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Will Senn, and here's the latest from the entertainment world. Actor Kal Penn is reportedly taking a break from acting to work in the Obama administration. According to the Associated Press, Penn's role in Washington will be to act as a liaison between the administration and Asian American and Pacific Islander communities. Penn is best known for playing the role of Kumar in the Harold and Kumar movies and for his work on the popular Fox series House. Canada's highest-profile handyman has a new show. Mike Holmes from Holmes on Homes has been down in New Orleans helping with the reconstruction efforts. The Toronto Star reports that Holmes has been in the city working with the Make It Right Foundation, which was created by actor Brad Pitt. First episode airs tonight at 9 on Global, followed by a 6-episode series on HGTV. Panhandlers, people sleeping on subway grates. These are just some of the images of homelessness seen throughout the city. Some say it's a problem so rampant that it has become easy to overlook. That's why one group of artists and advocates came together 2 years ago to photograph the homeless experience for a unique art project. Photographers and directors of the project came together recently to discuss their experiences. Victoria Wells has this report.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but sometimes it takes a lot of pictures for us to understand one word.
That was Jim Meeks, an outreach worker with Street Health at the Leaside Public Library. 2 years ago, he was one of a dozen current or formerly homeless people who took part in a unique art project. Street Health gave them cameras and asked them to photograph what it's like to live on the streets. The Toronto Arts Council provided funding. The photographers fanned out across Toronto. They shot the places they slept, They took pictures of people struggling to survive, and then they compiled their work and their stories and put them together in 2 exhibits. The exhibits, called Asleep in Toronto and A Day in the Life, were on display at the library for the month of January. They are going to Calgary next. Meeks says the purpose of the projects was to give a voice to those who had none, and in doing that, get the public to take a closer look at homelessness. Artist and homeless advocate Ron Zig also took part in the projects. He lived on the streets for 10 years. He became homeless because he was addicted to crack, but he has been clean and sober and off the streets for 4 years.
My mission is to inform people about the fact that homeless people and addicts are people. They are not vermin, and they deserve a better break.
Ronzik says art projects like these give the homeless hope. It helps them start to visualize a better life.
It's hard, because first of all, you have to imagine a new life, and that's the hardest part. But anything you can imagine, you can do.
The directors of the project say more funding is needed to support art for the disadvantaged. They say the exhibits have changed the lives of those involved by giving them a way to share their stories with the public, and given them hope in ending homelessness in Canada once and for all. Victoria Wells, Observer News, Toronto.
And finally, it looks like another dysfunctional Hollywood couple is calling it quits. Apparently, Lindsay Lohan and girlfriend Samantha Ronson are over, but for real this time. Us Magazine reports that Lohan was furious over being refused entry to a party being thrown by Ronson. Apparently, Lohan broke up with the Hollywood DJ over Twitter. No comments from the two so far, but NJ.com reports that Ronson's MySpace status has indeed been changed to single. And that's all for me. Now back to Jenna with the wrap.
Thank you, Will. That's all for us this hour. On behalf of all of us at Observer Radio News, thanks for listening and a safe drive home.